Hello one and all. So, story time. So recently, I've had a couple of new interns, which I've told you guys about. Interns that are part of my company. And I've actually had numerous interns over the last year and a half, I'd say, since really starting my business and trying to expand it. And it's been a real common problem with all of them. And I'll tell you at the end of this vlog what actually happened to one of them, or two of them I should say. And so, looks like it's gonna rain as well. So recently, I'll tell you the story. I've had these two interns, and in the beginning they showed a lot of promise. I gave them, actually it was a translation task for a school, and they did a really good job, within deadlines, and the quality was really, really good. So after a week, in my mind, I was thinking, yeah, this is going well. And I think mistake number one I made was probably when I interviewed them both. I should have asked them about loyalty and commitment, because that's a big thing for me now. I'm finding that a lot of these interns they don't have that idea that when you do an internship, you can't do it for a few weeks or a month. You've got to stick with it, right? You can't just hope that things are going to be great after a week or two. And I always tell them, when I first did an internship 10 years ago, that you have to stick with it. You're going to do tasks and jobs that you don't really want to do. There's going to be times that you do work that you don't really want to do, but it's all a learning curve, right? You're going to learn stuff that might change your life or give you skills that you can use later on. So this particular intern that I've had, they just putting the bin away, here we go, bit of recycling. They showed promise in the beginning, and then they were, by the second week there was a little bit of a dip. I could tell there was something not quite right. In the beginning, responding to messages pretty quickly, and that's not a requirement for me. I don't expect people to be lightning quick with messages, but I think when you're an intern, you need to go above and beyond with the work, because you're trying to make a good impression, right? And there's, the messages are starting to dip, the quality of the work was not as good. Give them very basic, simple tasks which they weren't fulfilling. Anyway, as I explained in other vlogs, I had a chat with these two interns I've got at the moment, and one of them, so I asked them, and I went into the call. I was really trying to think about how to approach this call. Should I be more stern and almost tough and say, look, you need to buck your ideas up, you need to sort this out? Or do I take the more diplomatic, I guess, come on, you've got to step up a gear, So I took the more diplomatic, more softer approach, which I thought went well. And I asked these two interns, right, obviously the quality of the work has kind of dipped a bit. What's the reasoning behind it? And they're so honest that one of them just said, yeah, I was playing with my niece, which is not a great reason, by the way, not to do work. Family issues, yes, I would accept family issues, like something's happened, a bereavement or something like that. That's a perfectly acceptable reason. But playing with my niece, looking after my niece because there was no one else to look after my niece, potentially would be a reason. But this particular intern said this. Another intern, I asked why, and said, well, I'm just trying to fill the time, which is never a good reason to do an internship or to do work, to kill time. Killing time should never be a thing in our lives anyway. You need to utilize time. And I asked them, what's the reasons for you doing the internship? And one of them said, I'm doing it for the experience. That's the only reason. And the other one said, yeah, I'm doing it because I didn't have anything to do, so I needed to do something. These are both terrible reasons to do an internship. Well, getting experience, of course, you've got to look at it a little bit selfishly if you're an intern. I want to gain some experience from this job, which is, yeah, perfectly reasonable. But really, another very important reason should be you want to deliver, like you want to provide value. And also, which is something that I used to do, and I think is definitely an issue that I've encountered with every single intern I've ever had so far in the last year and a half, is they don't have that mentality of, I want to get a job out of this. I could get a paid position out of this, whether it be part-time, full-time, remote, flexible working. And I think society has really changed, not for the better now. Where are these young people that want to work hard and succeed? I'm still looking for them. Maybe I'm not looking in the right places, but so far my experience has been really challenging with these interns. And I had to look in myself and think, is it me? Am I giving them enough opportunities? Am I making tasks really clear and simple, or giving them enough opportunities? But I feel with my internships, they're quite all-encompassing. There's marketing, there's business development, there's opportunities for, if they're Chinese, translation. Giving them all different opportunities. But I'm still trying to work out, like, what am I doing wrong? I'm giving people opportunities. So anyway, this week has been a real game changer, because I gave my interns like very simple tasks, which should take about an hour to do. Let's just go back a little bit. So at the end of that conversation I had with the two interns was really good. It was, they said, well, Daniel, this week is going to be a bit tough. We need to get our schedules back in order. One of them said, I wake up at 5 a.m. and I have 2 hours of classes, and then I have time to do my internship. So I've now identified that when someone starts to go quiet, it's a bit like relationships. If you're a guy or a girl and you really like someone, you notice the messaging is just really quiet. If they really like you, they'll be messaging you back straight away and really showing positivity. If they start to go quiet, that's not a good sign. And I've kind of identified that with people now in interns. Both my interns have had an issue with LinkedIn. One of them in particular, which again I don't understand. I'm pretty good with computers, but it's been a bit of an issue. But something I've definitely got to look into, as far as probably making internships a bit less LinkedIn heavy. It's just because I do so well on LinkedIn. But anyway, to go back, I had a really good chat with these two interns. And by the way, guys, feel free to drop comments below, like, how would you deal with this situation? You've got people that are not quite working hard, whether it be interns or employees or colleagues that you're working with. They're not quite pulling their weight. They're not quite dedicated and committed. I've always said this to people that work for me, like, you've got to be yes people. And not in the sense of like, I'm a master and you're a slave, do everything I say, but with my clients, I make sure that I'm there for them. I'll give you an example. Last night, my client said that, Daniel, was Friday night. We've got a call at 9 p.m. on a Friday. Can you join in? It wasn't convenient. It wasn't exactly convenient. I did have other plans set up, but I just said, yep, I'll do it. And I found out that the client was in the US, so time zones made sense. And that's the kind of people I'm looking for. And it's not every week. Like, that happens once in a while. So anyway, share your comments below. Anything I'm saying that you agree with, disagree with, how would you deal with it? Feel free to drop a comment. Anyway, last few days have been really, really tough. I've found that my interns have not quite performed the way I wanted to. I gave them quite a simple research task yesterday, and just to update 2 slides on a business proposal, and it took them about 5 hours to do, and it should have taken them an hour. And it was really frustrating because you've got a call with a client, and the problem is when you give them a task, then it's taking them away from other things. So I'm really trying to work out what is the system right now, because I think I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice boss when it comes to dealing with people. I don't shout, I don't get aggressive. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe I should be more like that, but I don't think that's the best approach. I think you need to empower and nurture people. And I'm trying to work out what's the best system. How am I going to get people retained? And screening in the beginning is a tough one. If you interview someone and they can bullshit you. They can say, yeah, I'm loyal, I want to stay committed. And so I don't know, maybe I need to be looking in different places. But anyway, the news that's happened is this morning, one of the interns sent me quite a nice email actually. She was all very polite and just said, look, Daniel, I'm not going to continue with the internship anymore. And I know this is going to happen in life, and it's something I'm going to have to get used to with business. But I just feel like people need to give things a bit more of a chance, right? Literally, she's been in the internship for 3 weeks, if that. And I honestly think it comes down to time management. I feel like if you're not quite time managing things properly, especially when you're an intern. When I was an intern, I was always the first one to arrive, last one to leave. And I did an all-day internship, unpaid. I did things I didn't want to do, but I thought, right, this is going to be a good experience. And I got the job. I got offered the job at the end of it. But I feel like that's not really a great incentive for interns nowadays. They don't care, if you offer them a job or not. It's not really a great incentive for them. So anyway, I got this email from the lady this morning, and from the intern. And yeah, it was all very positive, and thank you so much for the opportunity, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, it was just a real shame. It was a real kind of when you've nurtured and you've put a lot of time into people, you've given them skills and the tools. And the number one thing I say with interns is, it isn't what you know, it's who you know. That is what's going to help in employment, in life. Screw going to a great university, and you really need to build your network. It's definitely who you know. And the problem is when you start not nurturing relationships and quitting things too early, you've got to, especially if you're an intern watching this, or an employee in a company, unless it's really, really awful, which my internships are not really, really awful. They're actually I think they're obviously, I like to give people tasks that are somewhat challenging and enable you to use your initiative or maybe a bit more research. But they're not awful. I treat people with respect. There's no office politics or anything like that going on in my company. People are happy, right, to be within the organisation. I touched my head there because I was thinking about what to say. So I'm still trying to grapple this idea at the moment that a lot of young people nowadays, they're given opportunities and they're not quite taking them, and giving things a bit of a shot. If an internship is 3 months, do the 3 months, right? Get the experience. Because when these people then go for a next job, And they say, oh, you did an internship for a month. An internship for a month is nothing. It's actually, it looks really poor. But if you stuck it out for 3 months and really put your work into it, put your all into it, then who knows what might happen. And also you've got that as a great work experience. I think also another thing is a lot of interns are just they want that reference letter, and that should never be a reason you do an internship. The reason you do an internship is to gain experience, to deliver results, to test yourself and try new experiences, and hopefully be offered a job at the end of it, or a great reference onto another job, or whatever it is. And that mentality is kind of being lost nowadays. I feel like because a lot of young people have things on a plate nowadays, they have everything available to them. It's what my father used to complain about when I was a young guy. A young man, laddie boy, he would say, you've got it so much easier than when we had it. And I think it's something young people really need to think about, is like this concept of like, you've got to work hard and put time and effort. Things take time. Like, you need to really think about like things not going to happen overnight. So share your comments, guys. Let me know what you guys think. My little dilemma with the intern that is leaving. They did say, I wish you all the best and all this kind of stuff, but it is disappointing. It's a bit of a shame. Like I said, when you've put time and effort into people, and I'm finding this with a lot of interns, I don't know if I'm just being unlucky. I'm definitely going to look at how I approach particularly the interview process now. I'm really going to be direct to people and just say, look, why do you want to do this internship? And if they're just saying things like, I want experience, that is not a good reason. That is a terrible reason. If you're only doing it to get experience, that's not a good reason to do an internship. It should be a number of different reasons. So, that's my rant, guys, about internships. A little story that's happened recently. It's been a lot of ups and downs. It hasn't all been bad. Like, the interns have done some good work. I've still got one who I'd like to nurture, and I'm going to have a chat with her next week. I'll let you know how that goes. But I really want to share. I want to be honest and share what's happening. That's the thing. Although I'm getting quite a few brand partnerships coming in and things are going well with my clients, the nurturing the staff and the employment of the staff side is becoming, it's my Achilles heel at the moment. It's something I'm trying to work out. Because I even asked the interns, I said to them, like, is there anything else I can be doing more? Can I do more to support you? And I don't know if maybe because they're young, they're scared, they're Chinese as well, so I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but there's definitely an element of, I think I'm a nice guy, I'm a nice boss, but I definitely want to look within myself and see, okay, what can I be doing more to improve and help people? But anyway, guys, let me know what you think. If anybody's going through the same thing, or you're looking for a job and you need advice, it's something that I think I'm pretty good at giving advice now when it comes to employment, how to be in an interview, how to hit the ground running once you get the job. It's something that I've had a lot of experience with. If you're just starting a job or looking for a job right now, you've really got to put everything into it and give it some time. Especially if it's your first job. I think if you leave before a year, unless you're really unhappy and you don't like the boss and what's happening, which I hope didn't happen with my interns. I don't think that did happen, but because I think I'm quite a nice guy. I think there's definite food for thought in this one. So let me know what you guys think. Hope you gain some insights from this. Drop a like, drop a comment, and check out the previous vlogs. Panda Profits podcast also goes up this weekend, so check it out. I'm working on my funny British video, which is on tea. So that one's coming soon. And hope you have a fantastic weekend. Take care. Jayo. Zaijian. Bye bye.